Okie doke. Dean, do you want to introduce me? I was expecting you to start.
Oh, so I was you to do it. I'll say introduce yourself. Everyone knows who you are, Viper. I mean,
I'm good, mate. You go for it.
All right, no worries. But yeah, welcome back to GTA Marathon 2026. We're here raising money for British Red Cross. We're heading into the final couple of runs of the marathon. Starting off, we've got Viper doing some driver. You are the wheelman, so take it away, my friend.
Real, no worries. Okay, no. Right, so introduction aside, yeah, so I'm Viper. Yeah, I'm doing driver, the first one. This is the Japanese release of the game, so normally I do the NTSC version, but through a little bit of last minute change, I've got the Japanese version, which is, as you can see, we've been playing emulator. Right, so probably a quick show of hands, actually. Anyone in the room right now, did anybody in here not manage to get past the first level? Anybody at all? Like the car park level? There's probably somebody, at least someone in there. The only reason I mention that is because the Japanese version has one or two hidden tricks up its sleeve. So we'll explain a little bit as we go, but we'll get going first and we'll go from there to make sure I've got everything set up correctly, which I should have. Sounds fine. Yep, okay, dope. Right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so let's get going. As I was saying, so the Japanese has a few hidden tricks up its sleeve. The main one is that you get more time for missions compared to any other game version. But the Japanese version also has one of the best things about it, which is this. So you remember the car park mission? Yeah, well, guess what? We get to do this. So, we'll see in a minute. Oh no, we've failed. Doesn't matter. Yep, next mission. You can just skip the intro through this by wrecking it. So you fail it and you can still move on. Immediately, that's going to save us some time over the actual run itself, which is fine. So you have a answering machine that gives you the missions. So the first mission that we're going to do is the bank job. I do have the route. It's on my phone because of the fact, well, can't remember every single mission. The answering machine can have multiple. So at the start here, we've just got to do a few basic jobs, which is that we just need to go to the bank and we're going to go and pick a few guys up. They're going to rob said bank and we have to get to the safe house. Plain simple. So in the PAL and North American regions of the game, they have felony. So it's damage and felony. You can see here that the Japanese version has criminal. Sounds a bit better, really, when the Japanese put it like that. I don't have a cover of the game for the Japanese that I can show you, but in my opinion, the Japanese version looks way better than any other region. The PAL version obviously is quite iconic. A lot of people recognize that. We're going to kind of just have a quick introduction to why I'm going to be using this camera specifically. So this game is very reliant on frame rate. So I'm just going to have to wait here, on to my right. So the game's very reliant on frame rate. So by using the first person view, what ends up happening is you're rendering less on screen, so you're unlocking the frame rate a little bit. So the max frame rate this game can hold is 30. Obviously 25 for PAL. So we want to make sure that we're keeping the amount of frames at the maximum. We're going to use there, just short of 15 seconds. We're going to pick these guys up here. And we're going to be driving a lot of this blind. So a bit like what the GTA guys do, where it's like, okay, you can obviously do what you need to do, look to left, right, whatever. This has a few hidden tricks where you can see how you've got like the yellow lines in the middle, for example. You can use them as a reference. So the police will be a bit of an interference, but being on the easiest cop difficulty means that we're able to just wreck the cops fairly easy. So there'll be a lot of times during this run where if I'm looking to the left or to the right, it's to unlock the frame rate. Now, just to kind of mention as well, so in terms of like the story, you play as a character called John Tanner. And John Tanner is an undercover cop. He goes undercover to, I think it's to take down like a gang or something like that, which is being run by a guy called Costaldin. There's a massive plot involved. I can't remember all the details, but yeah, most of this is, literally all this is whole driving. There is actually a fun thing to mention. So GTA and Driver both had a bit of beef, quote unquote, in the late 90s, early 2000s. So as you guys know, the original Grand Theft Auto release, was it 97 or something like that? At the time, GTA was still doing the top-down perspective, bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it. However, when Driver came out, it was doing 3D already, so it got its one up on. I think, to be honest, that the Rockstar guys didn't like that, and as a result, a feud kicked off, quote-unquote feud. So let's quickly get to the next one. So there are 2 missions here. Now, luckily, even though it's in Japanese, I've got directions on here. So there are 2 missions at that specific, at the answering machine. The first one is hide the evidence. The second was Tico's ride. All the missions in here will be done based off the time it takes to do them. So a Japanese exclusive, it's not really much. The names are all highlighted in capitals. Compared to the European and North American version, which just have like the capital letter for the names and things like that. So AI is completely random on here in terms of traffic, as is the police. In fact, the whole reason for the estimate being as high as it is, if we get a good enough run and things don't go wrong, like for example, we're getting really lucky with the police spawns right now, it means that this run should actually be finished in about 110, 111. Which is way underestimate. 130 is literally worst case. I've had some really bad runs and things haven't progressed past like a 125 or a 126, but at the same time, you can't predict where the police are going to spawn. So funnily enough, just to kind of briefly mention about the driver GTA food. So it was like, GTA came out obviously in 97, you had London of course, and GTA 2. Driver managed to get its first games out in 99 and 2000. 2000 obviously with Driver 2 released, when it released, had the ability to get out if you can't hijack other cars. GTA obviously was doing that anyway, but you've got to bear in mind Driver was doing it in a 3D environment. Then GTA 3 came along, obviously, then you had Vice City, San Andreas, then Driver finally fought back with Driver 3. By this point, Rockstar knew the jig was up and obviously decided, no, we're going to go one further. So if you play GTA 3, which I have, but can't remember much about the story, so apologies to any GTA 3 runners, there is a mission in there called 2-Bit Tanner, which is basically Rockstar's perspective of Tanner, because of his funny running animation from Driver 2 to be exact. The only way Driver actually got his own back on the GTA games was the fact that in Driver 3 there is characters known as Timmy Vermicellis, and it is a guy in a red Hawaiian shirt, but he's got armbands on to take the mick out of Tommy that he can't swim, which was really cool. I quite like the idea of the whole back and forward. Obviously then you had GTA 4 and 5 and so on, and Driver didn't really fight back after that, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, it was a fun little, I guess, like beef, quote unquote, which was quite nice. So anyway, now that Tico has, we'll just say, eliminated some friendly competition, he obviously needs us to help get rid of the body. So again, none of this is done outside of the car, which is quite interesting. I just about missed the cop. That's interesting. But yeah, for the most part for the game, it's like, okay, everything's driving. However, there are, like, as I said, 1 or 2 hidden tips and tricks up our sleeve that we can do. Most of this stuff, apart from, so obviously, as I said with the interview, that you can just wreck the car and still proceed in the Japanese release. That is only a Japanese exclusive. That's not available in PAL or NTSC. So I wanted to kind of show that off, to be honest. I thought it'd be a good idea. So you can see here, hopefully the police don't hit me. I'll just leave just to be on the safe side. So most missions have a start and end point. The end point usually requires you to get rid of the police. Again, this is also proving there's like a dead zone here. So if I line myself up with the other thing, I can look to the side and not hit anything. That doesn't stop traffic going across the place, you know, so I can still accidentally hit a car. The other thing is as well, as I mentioned, to unlock the frame rate a little bit, we'll be doing that, where I'm looking constantly at the wall, that sort of thing. And that will be the end of that mission. The other reason is we hold the camera that way so that we're able to carry on and everything. So that's not actually the end of the cleanup. We actually have two sides of the missions. So that's the first one. The second part is, now that we've got the body in the back of the car, that we're going to get this to the safe house. Just before that, however, where we exited the garage with this car. So I'll just quickly show the car, if camera will pan out. So this is a civilian car. It's an ugly thing, to be honest. I prefer the original cars. But you can see there's a few on the road as well. It's not really very often that the game puts you in other cars, to be honest. You're always stuck in one car. And as well, if you do wreck the car, the game starts, that mission starts from the beginning. If it's got like a part 1 and a part 2 like this has, excuse me, If it has like part 1 to part 2, you just start that current part from the start, so there's nothing really to mention about that. The game was known, obviously Driver was known for being notoriously difficult. I can understand why, because it must have took me, I don't even know how many attempts to do the last mission. The last mission is the one that everybody remembers the most, as well as the first, ironically. But yeah, so apart from me yapping on, that's the end of that mission. So we're on to, I believe it is Tanner meets Rufus next. So again, some missions are pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You literally just go like this and just go straight to accepting the mission. A lot of the time it is a case of, so I have like on my splits, for example, just to kind of mention, so I have an L, an M, or an R. So if it's L, it means I have to go back 1 mission. If it's an R, it means I have to go forward 1 mission. If it is an M, it means I can just accept the mission that it's on by default. Some missions do not have a letter, only because of the fact that, well, they don't need one, because they are the only mission on that answer phone. So yeah, see how this goes. Also, okay, missed that. Nice and easy. Whilst I'm yapping away, Dean, bring you in.
Sure. I'd just like to remind people how they can donate. So you can do !donate in chat. You can click on the pinned comment as well, which is always there for your convenience. Or if you want to go look below the stream, you'll also see the donate button there as well. And we're currently standing at £3,420 for the British Red Cross, so thank you so much for the support during this event. It has been amazing. We've already beaten last year's amount, which is absolutely fantastic, but we still have basically 2 runs to go. I mean, this run's just started, so we've still got another hour of this at least. We've still got GTA San Andreas, unique stunt jumps with Josh as well, so don't go anywhere. We've still got some more content for you, but don't forget to get those donations in.
No problem, thank you very much. Yeah, so there is also a couple of missions in here. So a lot of it isn't just driving from A to B. Most of it is, but there are what I would call probably the biggest pain in the run, which is you have chase missions to do. Here's the catch. The chase missions are interesting because they have different routes, so you don't know what route they're going to take. But the most notable one of the bunch is the fact that the cars all have infinite mass. So you can imagine just how difficult it is to take a car down when it's got infinite mass and you don't. If you get in front of it, it'll obviously just pelt you out of the way, and that's that. Also, that's Tanner meets Rufus done. So speaking of the chase missions, this is perfect timing actually, because the next one is called Bust Out Jean-Paul. So Jean-Paul is the, I think he's like one of the drivers or one of the guys who's involved with the criminal organisation Underworld that Rufus introduced us to, but he's under police escort, so we have to bust him out. That means destroying a police car. Well, fortunately, it's a police car with infinite mass, so this will be an interesting one. So again, the route that he can take can be completely different. So let's see if I probably won't be able to get him. No, I won't. Okay, he's gone over there. Come on, can I still get him? Just. I'm keeping him in line of sight. That's good. Okay, so where are you? Over here. Come on. There we go. Keep rubbing him a little bit. That didn't quite work. That's not bad though. I've got most of his damage. So if I can get him, I should be able to get him at the end here, if I'm lucky. There, perfect. Right. The reason why that was perfect is right behind me there's a bridge that connects the main highway, which you can see I'm on at the minute, and the highway below me, because that is the main... Also just walk through. Car, why don't you? Yeah, so most of the time, and also I get wrecked, of course I do. Don't worry, it's fine. The damage doesn't count after I've picked him up. But the one that I need behind me leads straight to where I need to get him to, which is his safe house. So obviously do spin the car around. It's more useful if you can get him on... Funnily enough, so like, I don't really know what the optimal way of doing it is, because the thing is that if he goes up here, you have to remember, so at the moment I've got like 2 minutes to get him there to the safe house. If I was like miles away, I have 2 minutes to get him to the safe house from another point on the map. So ideally what you want to be doing is getting him there in a good amount of time. So you want to give yourself as much time as possible to get him there without slowing yourself down too much. It's a bit of a hit and miss. So also I'm going to do that because it'll go straight for the wall. Oh dear, hello. Excuse me. Now, the police do set up roadblocks. I don't know if they've set any up yet. I've not seen any. So that's pretty useful. So that's another thing as well. The criminal bar or felony bar, the more you fill it up, the more aggressive the police get. So yeah, the more you fill it up, the more aggressive the police are. They'll start setting up roadblocks and everything. Now, just in case you get a police car at the end, which you can see here we have, what I'll do here is I will destroy him right outside the house. Definitely doesn't know where we live. It's fine. So you can just do this. There you go. Just quickly wreck him there and beat the mission. Now, for the most part, again, it comes in useful to do that, so can't really complain. Right, so we go quickly to the route again. Just make sure I get this right. So the next mission, there's actually two. Now, these are where, in my opinion, the Japanese version comes into its own for having extra time. So we've got two missions. They're a bit difficult. One, well, the one that's coming up is very difficult. The one after it, less so, 'cause it's a chase mission. So this is one of the big run killers. It's called Superfly Drive. You have the fastest car in the game, or one of, and you have to get it across town. Here's the problem. It's the fastest car in the game. It's also the most valuable and the weakest. Meaning, one slight scratch can easily boost the damage. If I have a full-on shunt with someone, it's game over. Not only that, there's probably something I haven't mentioned up until this point, which is every time I fail a mission, I'm going to put £5 towards it. So, yeah, putting my money where my mouth is. For the most part, doing the whole, like, driving on the side of the road and all this crap, this usually works quite well. But there is one big problem, which is when you get to the end as well, that if you have a police car chasing you, you need the time to escape the police, and it doesn't always work. So, like, for example, here, oh god, hello, out the way, please, thank you. There we go. So yeah, you can get away from the police just fine. Now, there's two routes of doing it. So we're going to take, I'm going to call this the safe route. It's not mega safe, I'll be honest, but it's safe enough. Okay, I have to use the brake and the handbrake at the same time for this. That's another thing as well to slow this car down. Slowing the car down with the brake and the handbrake is very useful because you want as much time, as much space to slow down as you can. But yeah, you can get the police. They'll spawn near the end, and obviously we want to make sure that we don't have the police on our tail all the way back, because otherwise the mission won't let us pass it. Yeah, so there is the safe route, which is the highway that you can see that we're doing right now. There is a route on the left-hand side, the same one that we took to drop Jean-Paul off. Jean-Paul, whatever he's called. Yeah, so we took him back to his hideout, and yeah, that route is faster. I think it's faster by about 10 seconds, but holy cow, it's risky. The reason why I say it's very risky is because of the fact that the freeway is very narrow compared to these ones, which are way wider, give you more time to get there and everything like that. Now, this is where I'm a bit worried, because there's going to be an AI somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't know where it's going to be. I might be able to... Right, there we go. This is what I mean. So the cop's in the right direction, so we're going to get him to despawn like that. And hopefully, if I'm quick enough, he won't respawn back. Not in the same direction, in a different direction. Come on. I have this one. Yes. There we go. Right. One hard mission down. It is difficult as well. Getting that first try is very difficult, but I'm glad we did it. Happy days. So the next mission we've got is a chase mission. So you remember how we had the, what's it called, the police car? Now we've got to take down a guy called D'Angelo. What's his relevance to the story? Can't remember, to be honest. You just take him down, that's all I know. There are cutscenes as well in the game that I think, from what I remember, you have some cutscenes in the PAL version that aren't in NTSC or Japanese. So by default, PAL's the slowest anyway. But also PAL's the hardest as well, because, why not? Right, what's his route? Is he going to go? He's being very generous, thank you very much. So, I need to take him down. Hopefully I can do this. There we go. Yeah, oh, hello, don't flip over. Oh, thank God. That's another thing as well. Even though I beat him there and I got him, if I flipped over, it would have failed the mission, even though I passed it. So it's a good job that I did not flip over. Thank God. Right, so last mission of Miami, the Informant. Miami is, I mean, it's the first city in the game. It's the first one that you play as, or play in, sorry. But for me, it is the biggest run killer of them all because obviously it's the first city. There is 4 cities that we're going to go through. So we're going to start in Miami, going to move to San Francisco. We then have Los Angeles, which will be quite short for a few fun reasons. And we finish off in New York City. So hopefully, now during practice, that green car, I think, got in my way. I had a cop spawn up here, which was very unlucky. Speaking of which, okay, he's fine. Yeah, the police are going a bit slow. That's fine. I've not really mentioned much else of the mechanics. So with the rain being like it is, obviously, it means that you stop in distance. You'll slide more. The frame rate tanks, unsurprisingly. Obviously, the cars have got the lights, which you can see when they are on. They bounce off the tarmac as well. I think the rain physics are pretty good, to be honest. Now, you're supposed to follow this tram thing all the way around, but you can just wait for it to go down there and then slowly drive down here. Now, the police are nice enough to just, like, play follow the leader. The only reason I don't want to go too far over is that it has, like, an area, should we say, that you have to stay within. Also, you may have noticed the police that are on our backs have now just been switched off. They have like a kill plane, I think it is, or kill switch. Yeah, there we go. Cool. That's the end of Miami. Nice. Oh, actually went quite smooth, to be honest. Very nice. Right, on to San Francisco now. So San Francisco's full of jumps. If anyone's been, they'll know. Yeah, so we've got our first mission called the casino job. Also, the woman that was there, that was Jessie, she's only relevant for about 2 seconds, to be honest, mainly because of the fact that when you meet Rufus, she's with him, and turns out that during some point, I forget which mission it is, she ends up shooting Rufus and killing him. So that's why we chase him down. I think it's actually the reason why we do the Informant anyway, because I think it's just after you take down D'Angelo, then you end up you're able to do that part. But yeah, I can't really mention much else. There's probably other bits and pieces I forgot to mention up until this point. But for the most part, like I said, we've got time. We can just chill and relax. San Francisco's quite fun because it was one of my favorite missions. Actually, it's my favorite for 2 reasons. One of them is, so hopefully I can wait for this cop. Oh, that's another thing as well. Okay, don't hit him. There we go. So you can actually play in the law-abiding citizen. What's this? Yeah, you can play a law-abiding citizen, and the police don't notice as long as you're not speeding too badly. So like now, I can drive like a nutcase. The moment a cop sees me, I can just slow right down. Also, we've got time anyway, so I can wait. Yeah, so there are 2 missions in particular in San Francisco. So one of them is called Taxi. That is my personal favorite because it doesn't last that long, but it's quite funny because you have to scare the crap out of a guy in a taxi by doing donuts, driving oncoming traffic. It's quite fun for me. And then the other one is called Guns in the Trunk. It's actually coming up after this. The reason why, I think it's because like when you pick the mission, the guy, there's some Chinese guy on the other end saying like, come see me down Fisherman's Wharf. Obviously in Chinese accent and everything, but like, yeah, he gives you a mission, which we will be doing. But yeah, well, like a few of my viewers quite like that one for that reason. Just literally that line, which is quite good. Also, come on, phone, don't do this now. Notice how I'm not even keeping an eye on what's going on. I don't need to. It's fine. What else? What else? There's the Mercy mission. Oh, hello, cop. About time something happened. What else? Yeah, no, I mean, in terms of what there is for San Francisco, nothing too much. Like I said, the rain physics obviously hampered the game's performance. So in terms of out of the first 2 driver games, Driver 2 is the one that's had the really terrible frame rate for anyone that played that. It had abysmal frame rate for a PS1 game. It was on 2 discs because it was that big. Also, there's no way I'm losing this guy, so I'm going to have to wreck him. What else is there? I think. Yeah, Driver 1 didn't get a remake or anything like that. Oh, no, hang on. No, sorry, it's a lie. It did. So the game did release on PS1. It released on PC in 2008. 2008 or 2009, I want to say. It got a iOS release. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, the iOS version got a port. And then what else was there? Yeah, PC, PS1. Oh, Game Boy Color got a version as well, which is exceedingly difficult, and it's like 35 minutes long. But again, the thing is, though, is that if you want to play Driver like in the style of GTA, play the Game Boy Color version, because that happens to be top-down, like bird's eye view sort of perspective. So you probably like that if you like the original GTAs. There's a few things as well, like, you know, there's a funny reference as well in here regarding the guys like, have you seen this man? Obviously, we're playing as him. Speaking of guns in the trunk, here we are. There is a really interesting one. If you have a look on the map, you'll see that we've got 3 minutes, but if you have a look at the bottom left corner, bottom right corner, sorry, where the map is, you can see that there's a black beacon thing. That obviously, in case I haven't mentioned this yet, that's always to tell you where your objective is. However, I think something went wrong with this mission, because in PC, I think the end point is a bit further away. Same with the iOS release as well. But on PS1, it's literally, it can be done. So what was it? What do we have to start with? Like 3.5 minutes, and we're gonna get there with like what, a minute, 2.5 minutes done. So yeah, I think there was a miscalculation. Also, we want to turn around for that because there you go. Anywho, I'll briefly pass it back over to Dean. I think you've got something you want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a £23 donation from Mega Kek saying, really enjoyed this week. Thanks to everyone. And thank you for your donation there as well. So keep them coming, and we'll see how high we can take this donation total to.
Also, 23, obviously, of course.
23.
Anyway, yeah. So in terms of, like I said, in terms of the driver series, that sort of thing, yeah, Game Boy Color is more of a GTA perspective, you know, the classic GTA perspective where it's top down. The funny thing is, I mean, when I did play the Game Boy Color version, why, I have no idea, but anyway, yeah, it's way more difficult than you'd actually think it is. Like, for a Game Boy Color game, yeah, very difficult. Funnily enough, Driver has a bit of a weird history with portable games, so just to kind of mention, so obviously Drive 1 got released on Game Boy Color, Driver 2 got a GBA port, as did Driver 3 as well. For a Game Boy Advance game, Driver 3 looks really good. I think it was better than the console release, to be honest. I don't think that's a very high bar to clear, but yeah, Driver 3 it's busted beyond belief. I'm not going down that route, but yeah. In terms of what else Driver got though, handheld-wise, Driver 76, that was on the PSP. And also, the last game, I think, oh sorry, yeah, Driver Renegade was one of them for the 3DS, which, I'll be honest, I was contemplating submitting for the next GTAMarathon for a laugh. It's like 35 minutes and it's on the 3DS and it just doesn't fit Driver whatsoever. What's the other one? And then, in a bizarre one, they made a Driver game about speedboats. I have no idea why. Oh, here's the thing. See this bloke up here? Alright, I know he's scraping the wall. We're going to have to wait for him, unfortunately. Or I can just reverse to him. He actually knows his way in the compound, which is a bit scary. The cops do, and these guys do. If you're wondering as well, like, why is that not a police car? Why is that just a random blue car? So, obviously, we're not just going to get police chasing us. There's going to be criminals and all the rest of it chasing us, and presumably that's what they were. So that's that. Anyway, I'll be honest, I don't understand a word of Japanese that's being said in these cutscenes, so make of them what you will. Right, on to my favourite mission now, which is Taxi. Mainly because of the fact that he just screams for, like, oh, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. So the easy premises of this is that we've got an informant, we need to scare him. It's the only time you drive a taxi as well. Yeah. Yeah. So you can just do that. And if I can do it, can I get it? No, maybe not. I'll probably wreck the car, haven't I? No, he doesn't. He's still scared. I think I would be if a car turned upside down, wouldn't you? Also, how much is that? £5? There we go. Fail number one. Someone keep tabs.
Number one, that's £5.
Someone keep tabs. This is actually interesting. I never failed that mission. Anyway, Worst things have happened, I'm sure. This might get expensive quick if I don't screw this up again. Anyway, right. So I can hit the wall and everything like that. That'll obviously make him squeal even more. Also, if you're having a bad day, why not? Yeah, so donuts seem to actually, as you can see, scare the hell out of him. If I can scream, make him scream more. There you go. I know, there we go. It should be a lot easier than that, but obviously I made it look 10 times harder because of course I did. Anyway, right, so taxi's done. Now, at some point in the missions, in the story, so I presume that's what that cutscene might have been actually. So John gets a message or a phone call or whatever from someone called Cozy or Cosy, C-O-S-Y. I don't know how you pronounce it. I always call it Cozy. So basically,
it's Cozy.
Is it Cozy? Yeah. Yeah. So we end up picking this Cozy guy up, and he basically needs a lift. And at this point as well, we're still trying to get on the ladder for the criminal empire. So at this point in the story, you're still trying to make a bit of a name for yourself and things like that. You're trying to get into Castaldi's gang, and as the story goes on, obviously Tanner starts to infiltrate it. And obviously starts to uncover things. Not only that, but he has one of the guys that you end up having to take on is a guy called Slater, who turns out to be one of his old, turns out to be like an old racing rival that he had many years ago. So yeah, Tanner's backstory is basically he used to be an ex-racing driver, which is quite good. I quite like the whole like ex-racing driver. There is a problem now. I have no headlights, which is interesting because I don't know how I'm going to line the car up. Speaking of which, so they actually made this game interesting in the sense that obviously police can bust you, well not bust you, but police can chase after you for multiple reasons. And for the most part, they're going to be just chasing us because, well, we're speeding. Obviously, that's the obvious one. You can be speeding and the police can chase you, but there's so many different ways that the police have. It's really interesting. Somebody looked into the programming about like what you can do to actually get the police on you. So one of them is obviously you can destroy something at the side of a road. So you could hit a tree, you could hit a signpost, which by the way just goes like that. You could try and run someone over. Not that you can in this game, they don't let you do it in this. But like if someone's scared and runs off and the cops see you do it, obviously they'll start chasing you. If you attempt to go through a red light, they will obviously chase you. But then there's other ones as well. If you have one of the headlights out at the front of the car, they will chase you because that's illegal. If it's dark, they won't do it during the day. But they can also chase you if your car's beat up as well. So like if you've got a smashed up car, they'll also chase you because the car's battered and it shouldn't be on the road. There's a load of different reasons why they chase you, but yeah, some guy was going through them like what they can actually do. Somehow I missed him, I don't know why. Also, we've got a bit of leeway here whilst I'm waiting. Okay, the cop's just... Oh yeah, the cop just ignores me, by the way. Just, yeah. So whilst we're waiting for Cozy to get to the chopper and get in, we have to sit and watch this cutscene, I'm afraid. Dean, do you want to talk about anything about the charity whilst we're waiting? We'll give another minute or so.
Absolutely. I can give you everyone a bit of an overview about what sort of things that the British Red Cross can do with the funds that we've raised so far in the event. So, for example, £53 can be used to help provide warm winter clothes for children to help keep them warm. And that is stackable as well. So just think how much we've raised. That's a lot of winter clothes we can provide for children that have been the victims of travesties such as the conflicts abroad, or we're looking at the natural disasters as well, of course. £100 can also buy 20 torches, helping to support vulnerable people impacted by any power outages. Again, stackable. That's a lot of torches. So get the donations in and keep raising money for the British Red Cross. We're approaching the end of the marathon, so only a short time left to get your donations in. So give me something to read. I want to read some donations.
No worries, thank you very much. Yeah, so there's actually a couple of things that I can just quickly mention. I mentioned before, just to mention two other bits for the police, by the way. If you're caught reversing the wrong way, they'll bust you, they'll go after you. And then another one is if you're constantly honking your horn at the police, they'll start chasing you because it irritates them. Kind of funny, really, in that regard. What else is there? What else? Oh, yeah, so This is where I can probably give a bit of trivia for this game now. I actually can provide some sort of other knowledge that's not about the, well, not regarding the game's story. So, thanks, cop. Right, so this is called the Mercy mission. Now, this mission basically involves driving from A to B. We need to go to a telephone box. We have to do this 3 times. So that's the first one. And then the mission finishes. Now, in the PC version, this is in 4 bits. This is where the change comes in. So the cutting room floor, obviously a lot of people know that website, have found that there's game code in the PS1 version. The PS1 was originally supposed to have 4 parts, but for whatever reason, the final part of the mission got coded out. You can code it back in, albeit it'll be on a separate thing for the game, I don't know what. You'd have to activate it through other means, but you can activate the line of code and it's still fully playable. Anyway, so the reason why this is kind of significant is because at the end of each part of the when you get to a cell phone, you know, whatever, toll booth phone, what I can't remember the name, but the phone booth, whatever. You have a specific cutscene. Now, the first 2 parts are normal, but in the PS1 version, you'll see Tanner stood next to a park. We don't finish near a park. The park is still like another, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles away. It's at the bottom end of wherever we are, at the bottom end of San Francisco. So it's like you still have to drive to it. So that second cutscene, that plays normal in the PC version of PS1. What we're about to see now, in a second when I get to the third one, the mission finishes on the PS1, that's it. But for some reason, as I said, they decided, oh, let's not do that, you know, let's not code that in, put it at the right moment. Now, I will specifically mention as well that there are, obviously we're going down a specific route for what missions that we choose to do in this run, because obviously we're going for the fastest possible time, fastest route and everything. The game has multiple missions, it has 2 different endings, surprisingly, and there's a lot of different side missions. Some people may remember, if they got past the first car park level, of course, some people may remember something called the Briefcase, which was a mega hard mission in San Francisco. It takes place at night. It's about 9 minutes long, or a little bit less than that. There was a mission called In the Pickup, which involves driving a pickup truck with a crate in the back, which was explosive, and if you slightly hit a car or just whack the box enough, then you would end up obviously destroying the crate and the car would go with it. There was a few other different missions as well. There's one that we don't do is called Luther's Heap of Junk, which is where you just take a car to the scrapyard. What else? Yeah, there's a few other side missions as well. Obviously, if you were learning this for the first time, I wouldn't be surprised if you did end up learning some of these other side missions first. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, we do have there is a driver Discord, funnily enough. There's 2. I've not really mentioned this much. So there's one behind me, one in front of me. Interesting. Yeah, so that's the end of that one. But yeah, there's a driver speedrun Discord if you want to learn out any of the games. There's also something called Driver Madness, which is just a general driver community. There's a few great members of the community in there. A lot of things are being done in the driver community in the last couple of years. So about 5 or 6 years ago, Driver 2 finally got a PC release, which it never got, thanks to reverse engineering and a few members of the community. They managed to get it working. So you can now play Driver 2 in peace. It can actually be played properly. There's also a couple others as well. So there's a driver project called the Driver Syndicate, which is basically an open source project made by a guy called Soapy, along with several of the members of the Driver Madness Discord, and that's their way of making a new driver game, because Ubisoft, let's be honest, is never going to make a new one. It's been 15 years now, maybe 16 since the last driver game. Properly, that is, proper driver game. You know, they've made games like Driver Speedboat Paradise and stuff like that. I don't count them, to be honest. What else? Yeah, Driver 3's had quite a few different things done with it recently, modding-wise. Same with Driver Parallel Lines. Saying to a few of the guys here that Parallel Lines has got similar vehicles to the GTA games. So you may remember that in GTA games they have like fireproof, damage-proof, you know, bulletproof. Driver Parallel Lines is not quite the same, but they've managed to find stuff like double strength police cars, cars that can break the speedometer of the game, legit. But yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's very interesting. I'd highly recommend checking it out. And I really wish they were more done with it, but obviously the guys are on it, I'm sure. Custom missions for Driver 1 for the PS1. Not the PC version, like the actual PS1 version. There's a mod out there at the minute. I think it's called Lose Day Off. I don't know if it's like part 2 or something, but yeah, it's all good fun. Also, he doesn't usually spawn outside. You can see here how much the frame rate tanks because of the weather. Not to mention it's got to try and load 5 police cars plus the city. I'm making sure it doesn't load my car, but you can see now the frame rate's been freed up a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Also, this guy's stubborn. He's not moving, is he? He's not losing me. Oh well, we'll lose him eventually. Oh god, he's called for backup. Oh boy. It's probably going to be a barricade or something, blockade in a minute. I'm probably going to get one in a minute. But anyway, yeah, nothing too much to it. As I said, mainly it's mainly driving. There is actually a hidden city which I've not actually spoke about yet. So there's 4 cities. You've got Miami, San Francisco, LA, New York. As I said, they're what are in the main story. However, the game was made by Reflections, who at the time were based in Newcastle. And one of the things about the place was that... Also, that cop will lose me. Just trust me. It should lose me. Come on. I'm out of his actual line of sight. He should... There you go. Even though I'm in his field, he still can't see me. Yeah. I think that's it, actually. We've just got Tanner and Slater. But yeah, you can play in the PC version. You can play in Newcastle because it's just playable. But on PS1, you were never allowed to do it, so you only see it in the credits. However, if you've got Game Shark cheats, if you remember those, yeah, you can actually just drive in Newcastle. So, Tanner and Slater. Slater's a snitch. We've got to take him down. We've got to make sure he knows too much, basically. So I'm going to make sure he never sees the light of day again. Thankfully, he did go this way when I did a PB practice the other day. So he should go right. Yeah, he did. Okay. Come on. Come on, Slater, where are you? There you go. There we go. Right, took him down. Nice. And also, that is San Francisco done. So now we move on to LA. The reason why I say about Los Angeles being like it is because first mission involves driving a police car, but that's not the only thing we're doing. Yeah, Los Angeles is broken in a way, you could say. So first mission we're going to do is called Steal a Cop Car. So Tanner's decided to go with the wrong side of the law and he's going to steal a police car. We've got the chase, the Maddox hit, Beverly Hills getaway. So first things first, steal a cop car. Right, so here's where the fun begins. So obviously got sirens, blah, blah, blah. But this isn't the reason we're doing this mission. Not because we're driving a cop car, no. Because when you get to the end, there's actually a fun little glitch. Now this comes in useful. I'll just kind of explain a little bit ahead of time if I can. So I know the frame rate sucks a little bit, but trust me. I'm also going to drive right down to the end. There is actually an easy way to do this, but I'm going to go down to the end here. And hopefully we'll get this first try. So basically this corner here. Yeah. Basically, it doesn't exist. It's just, yeah. You sink the car and it passes the mission. It's that easy. So, yeah, broken a little bit. And we use that trick more than once. You'll see a different end of that when we do Beverly Hills Getaway, which is the end of LA. So we've got the chase next, which is, again, another tail mission. But this one's a bit more difficult, in my opinion. Obviously, the chase missions get harder as you go, so we're going to have to make sure that we're able to stop Duval. I think this will be useful, actually. Can we... Yeah, there we go. We got him first try. Very quick as well. That was very good. Very nice. I'll happily take that. So we've got the Maddox hit. Again, some of these missions can be quick if you get them right. There is actually a cutscene in the PAL version. Luckily, we skip it in NTSC in the Japanese release. But PAL gets an extra cutscene and obviously makes it even slower as a version to run. So, yeah. Have we got anything else we want to mention, Dean? I'll bring you in for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. We've got a £2 donation from Lego Morph, just saying, love to see Driver getting some love. Thank you for bringing it to the wonderful event. And then at the end it just says GTA 4.
Of course.
That might have been a character limit. I think it might say like GTA for life or something like that. But thank you for that donation. And that brings our total to £3,445.
So just whilst I'm thinking ahead, by the way, oh, bloody hell, of course I get a police car. Never mind. It's fine. He can chase me all he wants. It's not going to do anything. He will, because he always seems to turn across me. Yeah, just wanted to kind of quickly mention, whilst I've got like 2 minutes as well. I know that I'm probably not going to be looking where I'm going, but either way, just to quickly mention, just want to say thanks to GTAMarathon for accepting both of my runs that I did. I obviously did the Italian job on Wednesday, and we've got Driver today. It's been a pretty fantastic week, to be honest. It's been great to catch up with so many people here. I would highly recommend coming to it yourself, regardless if you run a GTA game or not. I ran one GTA game 8 years ago and I'm here, but regardless of that, yeah, would highly recommend it if you haven't been already. And obviously it raises money for a great charity, a great cause, and yeah, just want to say many thanks for that. So yeah, back to the Manox here for a sec. So we've got this mission, sorry, is split into 3 bits. So the first part is that we've got to go, also we might, or maybe not actually, we didn't get the car going through the car park. This car park may look familiar. It's the same design as the one from San Francisco, except it now has bollards in the way. Also, you may see a car go through the wall. Don't worry about it if that happens. Yeah, so there's 3 parts. So the first part is picking the assassin guys up from the car park. Second bit is to go to the Chinese theatre. And now we're going to attempt to take down a police officer. So here's the thing. You've got to bear in mind, so Tanner's a cop. He has to play both sides of the field here. He can't say, oh, don't shoot him because he's a cop. He has to play both sides. So how does he play both sides? Well, he obviously goes and picks the criminals up and he gets there. However, if you were to accidentally move the car when you go to shoot someone, your shot will not be accurate, it will be off. And funnily enough, that's what he ends up doing, and he misses the guy and they're like, get us the hell out of here because the cops are going to be onto us. So yeah, turns out you can play both sides after all. Anyway, yeah, so like I said, most of this is fairly straightforward, just drive from A to B. Personally speaking, this is probably one of my favourite runs I like doing. I know that the thing is, I do have some unfinished business with this game by means of the console record. So I do have the record for PS1 on MU and console, but the record is not that good for me. I don't like the fact that it's like a 1:13. Basically, I had a nightmare situation a couple of years back. Also, I don't know where he's going, but he's going in a circle. Where I ended up having a run that was on like 1:11 pace on console, and it was like one of the best runs I'd ever done. And then, no kidding, I got smashed to pieces by a friggin' taxi. I hit a taxi, then hit another wall, then another wall, then another wall, and it ended up being a case where also what would be facing the other way, which is fine. Yeah, so I ended up having a case where it was on 1:11 pace or something like that, and yeah, it just failed literally with like 1 mission to go. It could have failed on the last mission, but yeah, I've still got PTSD from when that happened, to be honest. Absolute pain. Also, this mission has 2 ways you can finish it. So I'm going to finish it the normal way, we'll call it. I won't be using the out of bounds glitch thing like I did before. You can use that though. This is another thing as well. If you're running this for the first time, would probably recommend using the out of bounds to finish this mission until you get used to the maps, the routes, figuring out where to go and things like that. And I think the most important thing of all is obviously the handling physics in the wet. Because right now, obviously, as you can see, it's not dry, it's wet. So, well, obviously the car will be sliding about the place. The game is obviously built on certain mechanics and things like that. Has its own handling system and everything. One of the things I've not mentioned is the damage system for this game. So when Reflections were... I mean, Reflections have been a thing for quite a while. But in 1995... I want to say 596, give or take, a year. Definitely 96 for Destruction Derby 2, but they made the first 2 Destruction Derby games. But during that, unbeknownst to everybody else, what they were testing the damage physics for, which are pretty good in them games for what they are, they're not mega amazing, the cars aren't completely destroyable, but the damage model that was in Destruction Derby 1 and 2 was the test basis for the damage model for this game, because obviously you've got to have like the final products and everything like that. So hopefully, can I get this before he comes and sees me? He just about turned around at the right moment. Now that's lucky. Okay, so whilst I'm waiting for the cutscene, I'll quickly get back to the route here. So we do have one last mission, which is Beverly Hills Getaway, and we are going to use the Out of Bounds glitch again, as you've already seen. We've used it once before, and yeah, we're actually going to do something slightly different though. We are going to still use the Out of Bounds. Just kind of mention as well that the route did have a change. So when people were originally running the game all these years ago, they did the mission called the test run, and it's about 3.5 minutes. You just drive from one side of the map to the other. No biggie. Like, you can have police in you, it doesn't matter. You have a time limit roughly to get to the other side. Easy. But when this glitch was found, the Out of Bounds was found, it was like, wait, so we do a mission normally, but we use the Out of Bounds glitch and it actually completes it faster. So basically it was like, right, okay, we'll do test run, it's 3.5 minutes long, and so on and so on. And then I think it was Iceman found this Out of Bounds glitch. It could have been found before that, but he introduced it to the run. Everything was like, yeah, I think we could probably use this somewhere. I don't know how, but we could definitely use this somewhere. So what ended up happening was he found this glitch, obviously, as I said, saves time, can do whatever. But basically in this mission, I have to wait 10 seconds as well. It's there 15. Is that this mission has a red herring. So you're supposed to pick these guys up. So it's a bit like the bank job. So these guys are now going to get in the car, and you're supposed to take them to a safe house. However, spoiler, the cops are there. They know exactly where you are. So it's a setup when you get there. So then you have to drive across the map and get to the other mission. But you don't really have to do that. The game tells you to do that. But by doing the Out of Bounds, we can obviously just be like, yeah, right, and so, no biggie, no biggie. We can just use Out of Bounds as long as we finish the mission. It doesn't care whether we go there or not. So I don't know where's the police guy? He's over there, right? This will be interesting. Come on, right, left. There we go. See you in a bit. He's gonna disappear for good in a second. So there's an orange building. Here it is. And you can just do this. Yeah, there's no wall there. Honestly, they didn't think about this. So what I can now do is I can just drive to the Out of Bounds outside the map. You can see how much better the frame rate is. It's actually ticking over because there's nothing to render. So there's the map, by the way. You can't even see it if I look to my left. There, maybe? Yeah. You can see, yeah, there's the water. So all we've got to do is just drown the car here. And there you go. And that's the mission done and passed. And there you go. Right. So that's LA done and dusted and out the way. So New York now. Last city in the game, probably the hardest one, hardest set of missions. Now we have 2 routes that we can do. We're going to do the route that I would normally do. But basically this is also where the story ending differs. So in this particular one, so the route goes for this one anyway. Grand Central Station switch, the accident, Trash Granger's car, the negatives, rite of passage, and finishes with the President's Run. If you were to do the other mission, you've got Luther's Heap of Junk, the Rescue, Trash Granger's Wheels is still there, same with the negatives. Then you've got something called the Alley Situation, and then you've got the President's Run. So you're probably wondering, like, what's the difference in the story? Basically, in the rescue, you rescue a girl called Ali from the criminals. Also, great, the taxis are already deciding to go off, and that's good. Already off to a great start. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting mission now. But, yeah, the taxis just come out of friggin' nowhere in New York. They are horrendous. So, like, see how he stopped there? He'll come out, or they'll just come out of these side streets. They're just absolute pain. What else do I need to say? Oh, yeah, there you go. Have a... Oh, God. Try throwing a taxi at him. It didn't quite work. Come on, taxi, do me a favour. Help. Yes. Taxis are actually saving my ass right now. Well, okay, then. Yeah, so in the other missions, you have the rescue. You rescue a girl called Ali. And then the second to last mission is called the Ali situation. Oh, talk about a bad spawn. Good grief. I'm going to have to take you down then, aren't I? There we go. Right. I swear to God, I hope one doesn't spawn now. Okay. Again, got plenty of time to get to the train station. That 2 minutes, by the way, don't worry about it. You don't need the rest of that time. It really is easy to get here. My only concern is my damage, because what this now relies on is this mission is split into 4 bits. It's getting to the train station to meet this guy. Then you've got to get to the meeting point, which is Grand Central. Then you've got to make the exchange. So it's 3 bits. So what's going to end up happening now is we're still going to have the police now on our case. This is what I was also saying as well. Multiple parts, the damage stays the same. So you have to make your car last the entire mission, which is difficult. It can be difficult. It's a friggin' taxi. God's sake. Go buy yourself a Daewoo. Bloody hell. Anyway, they will be getting in my way a lot on this one, to be honest. See what I mean? There you go. I have to be careful. Like, the amount of times. Don't pick your own at me. You stupid ass. Anyway. Yeah, as I was saying, as I'm running... Whoa, see what? This is going to be very infuriating with taxis. Luckily, we do get our revenge, which is on the negatives. We have to take a bunch of guys down in a yellow taxi. So we get our revenge later, don't you worry. We get our revenge. Yeah, what was I saying about the story? Yeah, so you've got, like I said, the alley situation, which is a change of pace. Or in this case, you've got rite of passage. Oh, hello. We have barricades. That's about as useless as a chocolate fire guard, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I don't know who they were trying to stop, to be honest. But anyway, easy. Like I said, we have a kill zone here, so that's fine. It means that we're able to actually get to the end without any police. So now we're going to meet the guy, do the exchange. Now we've got to get back to where we started, and then that is the mission actually done. So, yeah. Also, whilst I'm still doing this, Dean, got anything?
Sure. First of all, I wish I had that many taxes in my run.
No, well, these ones you definitely don't. These want to kill you. I think that's a different kind of taxi you're asking for, to be honest.
Fair enough. We also have a £1 donation from Lego Morph just saying, nice driving, son.
Yeah, there's a few good expressions, voice lines even, from Driver that I quite like. I used to have sound bites on me, or sound elements or something on my stream, and I used to have some of the sound clips from Driver. Like, you wrecked the car, man, and yeah, like, nice driving, son, which is the president from the final mission. So, yeah, this part in particular now, so we're being tailed as the game has told us, but you can barely see them, but these blacks, oh, nice, the taxis actually saved me, and then nearly screwed me, that was close. Yeah, these black cars here, these spawn infinitely all the way back until you're about a mile out. So you can see here I've just lost one, I've immediately gained one. Oh my god, this is horrendous. Oh, hello. Excuse me. Yeah, so they can keep spawning up until this junction here. And then... I'll lose them in a second. Lose them. Yes. Thank you, taxi, as well. Pinged off that, nice and easy. Please don't catch me. Phew, right. That's that one done. Very nice. Right. Now that that's done, move on to the accident. So, I think there's a mission, isn't there? Is it in Vice City, the one where you have to take a woman down or something after she robs a jewelry store and you have to flip a car upside down?
Yeah, it's in Vice City.
Yeah, this is kind of similar, except we actually are the cop this time. Although you don't flip her upside down in this, it's not as easy. It's weird as well, because, like, obviously you saw me flip the taxi over before. that doesn't happen quite easily. Like, you need a lot of force to do it. I've had unlucky times where I've actually, well, or should I say lucky, where I've got to... Oh, hello. Where's he going? God, now I actually am driving like the police. So now we've got to chase this guy down. I have no idea why. He's got infinite mass, as you can see. Bye-bye, taxi. Don't worry about it. He can send in the insurance bill, I'm sure. Okay, come on. Don't smash me too fast, come on. Bloody hell. Okay, we've got a fair bit more with him. Whilst I'm chasing him down, Dean, this might be a perfect time if we've got anything you do want to talk about the charity. Just saying.
Yeah, of course I can. So, yeah, don't forget, people, exclamation mark donate in chat. You can also click the pin message or click on the button below the stream as well if you want to donate to the British Red Cross. Just to give anyone who may not have seen what they do a little bit of an overview. So, they support people in crisis, both here in the UK and abroad, in places struck by conflict, natural disasters, or extreme weather events. So, think about things like Gaza, Ukraine, tsunamis, earthquakes, anything like that. They will support people. With the amount that we've raised so far, the British Red Cross can supply an entire community with essentials. So we've got like hygiene packs, foil blankets, torches, clothing, mobile phones with data. So your support is really making a big difference here in the UK and the rest of the world. So we thank you for that continued support. But we're not done. So you've still got more time to put some donations forward. So like again, exclamation mark donate if you want to donate some money to the British Red Cross, and give me some donations to read, please.
No worries. Okay, no. So we're actually on that what's it called? I can't think of the name of it now. What is it called? Voice machine. I guess answering machine. There we go. Can't think of the name of it then. That's the last time we're going to be able to choose a mission in this run, because after this, every mission that we do is mandatory. We don't really have a choice with anything else. So we're into the final 4 missions, which is Trash Granger's Couch we're doing now. We've got Negatives, which is a bad mission. No pun intended about it being called the Negatives, but yeah, it is a bad mission. Then we've got Rite of Passage, and then finally the President's Run. So up until this point, I've not really mentioned too much of the story. Hopefully the car spawns. Did he spawn? Did he spawn? Yes, he has done. Right. So we have to destroy his car. So do that, and then quickly get the hell out of here. Hopefully I don't get wrecked too hard. Cop, can we please... Oh, get me out of there, quick. Get me out of there. No, 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 no. Okay. I don't know how I got out of there. I'm not unscathed, as you can see, by judging by the damage. But yeah, you have to wreck Granger's car. Anyway, up until this point in the story, obviously Tanner's infiltrated Castaldi's gang and he's been going through everything. And pretty much Granger is one of his, I don't know if it's his like lieutenant. He thinks that obviously he keeps finding out that there's probably like a couple of guys that are rats. You know, there are a couple of guys, I think I missed him. Oh, missed him bloody turning. Never mind, doesn't matter, it's fine. Yeah, there's a couple of guys that he thinks are the rat for the organisation, and they're in his gang. Also, of course, I got a cop right at the end. I'll just follow him then, doesn't matter. Come on, steady, 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 steady. There you go, easy. Right. But yeah, up until this point, he's thinking that Granger's the rat, obviously. And by taking out Granger's car, it's like, oh, right, okay. Then he's got his eye on this group of other guys that are also in his gang, and it basically seems to be like swings and roundabouts, you know, like, oh, he's the bad guy now, and he's the bad guy, and he's the bad guy. Anyway, you start taking them all down one by one. Obviously, they're all getting arrested, and the police are arresting them anyway, so you're winning in technically a different kind of way. So now what we've got to do is take down this taxi, and hopefully, I don't know if it'll take long, it might. Yeah, I don't know. Might need a bit more time to take this guy down. He does have infinite mass, so it might be a couple of times where I can get him and I can't get him. This is a long mission as well if I don't get it straight away. Not only that... Oh, perfect. Again, he's just destroyed a taxi for us. He's doing all the destroying it. I thought that was my job. Anyway, whilst we're chasing him down, or chasing the group of guys down, whatever it is, yeah, so... Eventually, the plot comes to a head, and Castaldi's got his eye on one target, which is the president. He wants to kill the president or kidnap the president or something like that. Yeah, it's up to you to escort the president. The idea is that you're involved in a criminal plot, and that what happens is, yeah, you're involved in a criminal plot, and it's up to you to obviously escort the president, take him to the kill zone, and they'll deal with the rest. However, obviously, Tanner, being the good guy that he is and the cop that he is, doesn't want to do that. Luckily, I think. Please don't tell me he gets away. No, he won't. Okay, that's good. Just got to chase him. I don't know how long this will be, but keep going. It takes as long as it takes. Normally, this mission's a lot easier. Quote-unquote easier. Oh, God. Hello. I think I've lost him. Bloody hell. Okay, that's another 5 gone. Doesn't happen all the time. Huh. Well, whatever. Keep going. Again, we've got enough time on the estimate for this, so that's fine. Where's he going this time? Oh, of course you're going that way. Of course you're going to go this way. This is the route I don't want him to take, because... Is it this way? Ah, okay. Don't want him to take it, then gets him within 5 seconds. Okay, then, sure. Right, nice. We've got him. That's done. I'm glad that mission's done. The negatives is a pretty notoriously difficult mission, to be honest, for the run. Obviously, we've got rite of passage next. And finally, the President's Run. The President's Run is notorious for being one of the highest missions in the game, bar none. That's even way harder than the interview, which is at the start. So, yeah. But obviously, speedruns do it differently, apparently, or you'll see. Anyway, we've got to drive across town. This is apparently to prove that we can do the job. So the idea is that you've got 4 and a bit minutes. Obviously, like I said, Japanese version, we've got a bit more time. The game's not fussed if you've got cops on you when you get to the end or whatever. You just need to get across town. So whilst we're conveniently trying to just get across town here, Dean, you've got a bit more time if you want to get anything in last minute.
Yeah, of course I can. So, as we approach the end of Driver and heading into the final run of the marathon, you're running out of time to get your donations in. So if you want to help us get that total up even higher, we've already smashed last year's goal. Last year's total. So we're currently standing at £3,446. I think we can get a few more £100 in this before we finish up today. So I believe in you, chat. I believe in everyone in the audience as well. If you want to donate some extra bits of money over to the British Red Cross, !donate, click the pinned comment or click on the button below the stream, and let's raise as much money as we can. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks very much, Dean. Yeah, so like I said, we're into the last 2 missions now. This one is the one that I've got PTSD from all them years ago. But luckily now it's just a case of try not to think about it too much, and obviously with this being a marathon run, you can get out of the way. Bye-bye. If there's basically at this point now, if there's anybody in my way, they're going to feel the pain. I'm sorry. It's just going to be a case of out my way, you can smash past them, easy. There's also gaps as well that I can fit through like this. So again, nothing too bad. But yeah, there is also a couple of things to mention. So obviously you've got heavy rain, there's like storm weather as well. One of the weather effects which you see only the once, I believe, is in the President's Run, and that's snow. And now, in a weird kind of twist, the PS1 version doesn't render snow very well, so it just looks like it's raining to some extent. But in the PC and iOS releases, there's definitely snow and things like that. In fact, I go as far as saying, now this is going to sound really bizarre, the PC version has its own tricks to finish missions faster. Obviously, it's faster load times and everything. But the iOS release is easier than this. There are a few extra bits you have to do and things you have to look out for and things you have to make sure go, the chases and stuff. You have to make sure things go right, basically. But yeah, for the most part, don't really need to worry about it. But the PC version has something which is, because of the game running at a higher frame rate on PC, it means that police spawn like that. They spawn very, very quickly. So finishing missions without a cocktail is really difficult, whereas on PS1, because I don't know if it's due to the engine or the frame rate or whatever, but yeah, you're not able to have too many cops on screen at once. Yeah, you can't have too many cops on screen at once, and everything just kind of works out in the end, which is quite nice. This is looking fine, so this is all right. So I need to take the next right turn. Oh, there's a question, actually. It's like, in terms of how do you know where you're going? Obviously, you learn a game, you know exactly where you're going. How do you know where you're going in Miami? Like, all 4 cities, it's like, again, the routes are similar, but like the map of New York's in my head. I use the black marker thing, you know, the cone or whatever it is. I use that anyway. So it's not like, you know, I'm that clever or anything. It's just part of the game. But yeah, so that is the rite of passage done. That's if a taxi does not decide to turn me over. So I'm going to be very careful here. There we go. Should be fine here. And that's the end of rite of passage. Very nice. Time-wise, we're looking really, really good. It would have been even quicker had I not failed the missions, to be honest, but I'll take it. Anyway, final mission of the game, the President's Run. The mission that everybody hated because it was so difficult. Myself included, I hated it. It took me about, I don't know, a couple of years to finish this. On and off, because it was just so difficult. It was so infuriating. And then you just watch this and you just think, wow, what was even the point? So, obviously we need to get the president out of there. As soon as we go through here, we've got max felony. However, if I get this right, line myself up correctly, I have to make sure that these guys come at me. One of them needs to hit me at full speed. Come on, hit me at full speed, come on. Someone? Anyone? He's really not, is he? Anyone? Is he just going to sit there? He's really going to sit there, isn't he? Hello? Oh, there you go. It worked. Okay, so someone decided to use the gas pedal. Yeah, so you can get pushed out of bounds, and then this happens. So this all you have to do. You get pushed out of bounds, and you drive over to where the Brooklyn Bridge is. Also, if tech's ready on time, it will be coming up fairly soon. Yeah, so you can just drive all the way to here and stop here and let the car drown into some weird black liquid stuff, and that's it, time. So yeah, the way that the finale thing works is something like, again, the same as the LA glitch where you can drown the car and everything like that. One of the members of my chat actually said, instead of it saying nice driving son, it says nice drowning son. For that one, because obviously, why not? But yeah, somehow driving a car into the ocean saves the president. I don't know, go figure. But yeah, that's the Japanese version of Driver. Like I said, feel free to pick this up if you want to have a bit of an easier time with it. Yeah, there is, obviously, like I said, there's a Driver Madness Discord for the general driver community. There is obviously a Driver Speedrun Discord. Again, feel free to ask questions there. Obviously, we have console and emulator for these as well. I'm just going to quickly skip this as well. I also want to kind of show the credits in a weird way, because normally you wouldn't bother, you'd just be like, oh, leave it be. But trust me, it's definitely worth it. So I'll just quickly get these up and running. I've got a few shout-outs to make, which if the game loads fast enough... Oh yeah, that's another thing as well. When you beat the game, you get all the cheats. So you can do all sorts of weird stuff, like you got invincibility, immunity, rear-wheel driving, mini cars, stilts, anti-podium, which is you drive upside down, or if you're Australian, the right way up. Anyway, yeah, so whilst the credits are playing, everything like that, just quickly closing thoughts and mentions and everything like that. Also, the only time in the game you actually see a licensed vehicle, a Jag, kind of fitting, really. I know that's ironic, I'm wearing a Jag shirt. That's a very fitting. Anyway, yeah, so this is the Newcastle city I was telling you about. But anyway, ignoring that, that's in the background. Yeah, so just want to quickly mention, thanks very much to GTAMarathon for having me do not 1 but 2 runs. Thanks very much for letting me in with this, with Driver. It's been amazing to do it. Secondly, thanks to everybody at this event for making this week fantastic. I've really enjoyed it and will definitely want to return. Obviously, shout outs to my own personal community, the Viper Racing Discord, and obviously the Driver Madness and Driver Speedrun Discord. And finally, last but not least, my partner in crime. She's not here, but she knows I love her very much back home. So yeah, so hello Linky. and I don't know if she'll see this right now, but either way, knows I love her very much, and yeah, I can't wait to see her when I get back home. But yeah, that's kind of about it. I'll hand it back over to Dean, where I believe it's GTA San Andreas to finish off. So yeah, thanks for having me, and yeah, see you again.
Thank you for the run, Viper. That was very good fun to watch some drivers there. Also, just to let you know, Linky is in chat. She's
Oh, is she there? Okay, that's
she says
nice.
hello for you. There you go. And also, just to confirm for you, just to make it a little bit better for you, the final fail count was 2. So you owe £10.
Only 10 quid. Could have been way worse.
Exactly. Could have been way worse for you. And yeah, coming in way under estimate as well with the 111. So GG on that as well.
As I said, as I just quickly mentioned, this game can really go wrong. That's not. I know that seems like, oh my god, he's done the best run ever. It literally is just a case of so much can go wrong. That's the only reason I set the high estimate. So yeah, that's all. Anyway, sorry, dude.
That's fair. No, we're still. Yeah, we're going to go into a short intermission while we set up for the final run of the event. We're going to have GTA San Andreas 69 out of 70 unique stunt jumps by Josh. So don't go anywhere.
They trying to give you a murder rap, and you ain't even like that. Yo, serve these niggas cause they deserve to get this.
We gon' crack you over the head with some more hot music. Enjoy.
When I sit down and write and recite, for the mic I hold.